CQDX, 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 CQDX on 10. CQ, CQ, CQDX, CQDX, CQDX 10 meters. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, calling CQDX, CQDX, CQDX on 10. Okay, the station calling me, the signal was just 2 and 2. You were 2 and 2. I heard you call my call sign, but I didn't hear your call sign. You were just 2 and 2. A little bit weak for me, so please try again. And I will try to get you in the logbook. I am listening. I'm just using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna today, so it may not receive you today, but try once more. The station calling, Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, southeast of England. Go ahead, please. Okay, that station, I do have QR Mexico from a nearby frequency, and he is peaking Santiago 3 to 5. He's a lot stronger than your signal directly on my frequency. Please try once more. We'll try to get you in the logbook, otherwise I won't waste your time. I don't want to waste your time today if I can't hear you, but please try again. I would like to get you in my logbook. Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Fox listening. Okay, I think I've got Kilo 4, Kilo November Foxtrot. Now, that's only what I think I'm hearing. You were about on that over, you were about a 4 and 3. You were about a 4 and 3. Still a bit difficult, but I believe I have a Kilo 4, Kilo November Foxtrot. And if you could give me a Roger on that, and your name is Kyle in South Carolina, then I think we have a contact just about. Kilo 4, Kilo November Foxtrot. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. Okay, a correction on that. Kilo 1, Lima November Foxtrot. I heard Kilo 1, Lima November Foxtrot, which is Gary, also in South Carolina. Is that a QSL? Back to you. Okay, not sure. I'm going to be honest and say not sure what you were saying that time, Gary. 4 and 1. It's a 4 and 1. It is really, really difficult to hear you. I'm not sure if maybe you are a QRP station, or if it's just the propagation just isn't working that far south into the USA at the moment, or maybe the fact that I'm using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna, and maybe you're also using a simpler antenna. I know I've just been speaking to someone in the USA that was using a beam, and like he was 5 and 8, but that's not to say that won't happen now with propagation. But Gary, I've got you in the logbook as I'm logging you as a 4 and 3 because you were peaking 4 and 3. But really difficult to hear you, old man. As I say, it's not helped by the QR Mexico from a station very, very close by. But you know, I've got you in the logbook. I'm happy with that, and I think next time we'll chew the fat. We'll put the world right. But I'm not sure that it's going to work for us today. Kilo 1, Lima, November Foxtrot. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Very good, very good. Well, let's play 2 and 49. We're using a 3-element Yagi here at about 100 whiskey. 3-element Yagi. You should work really well. I don't know what it is. So you I don't know why that signal is so weak. You are speaking with me on QDX 1200, 5 and 7. Perfectly reasonable. I do not know why you are not hearing me. But anyway, I really don't know what is wrong with the antenna. Something is wrong. Have to go out and look. Maybe it's falling down or something. M0 is a very solid shot. This is K1.
Yeah, Kilo 1, Lima November Foxtrot. Well, I know you're using a 3-element Yagi, 100 watts, and you're using an FTDX radio, and you're concerned you don't know why your signal is so weak. I can confirm at one point you are peaking 5 and 3, but the QR Mexico is probably what's not helping us, Gary. He is peaking Santiago 5. He must be on something like 370... maybe 370 or 375. He's one side or other than me. I'm using an IC-7300 radio. I cannot see on this scope. I cannot see signal which side he is, but he's obviously only a few kilohertz away from me, and quite possibly he's a European station. We do have short skip coming from Europe today. So there is every possibility that it's just a short skip from Europe, and he obviously can't hear me or doesn't want to hear me. I'm assuming he can't hear me because it is short skip. I've worked a few short skip stations from Europe today, so that's possibly half the problem. And you know, the thing I'm always interested in is, can I hear the other person? I'm never too worried about the signal strength, but of course with QR Mexico, that's just not helping. You know, it's just when the signals are lower but would normally be perfectly readable without QR Mexico. I'm just not hearing you today, Gary. But Gary, it's great to get you in the logbook today. I've got some information from you, so you know what's going on. Just for your logbook, I'm about 15 miles southeast of the city of London, so I'm just down there in the southeast of England in the county of Kent. But I just checked your QRZ page, and excuse me, I see a picture of a Heath kit and some other old radios there. So maybe we'll have a good conversation in the near future, because I also like to restore and use old radios. If you check my QRZ page, you'll get an idea. But yeah, thanks for the call in, Gary. Glad to get you in the logbook, regardless of the QR Mexico, etc. And we'll do it again another time. I'm always on 10 meters and 12 meters CQing, so come and look for me again, and we'll do it all over again. And hopefully we won't have our friends over in Europe splattering all over the top of me. So I'll hand it back to you for a final there, Gary, and thank you again. Kilo 1, Lima November Foxtrot. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Oh, very good, very good. 100% copy here. 100%. You're peaking on the FTDX. You're peaking between a 7 and a 9. Absolutely wondering what is wrong with that station. There are 100 watts in the good. I think it was still research, but I'm not sure if you want to emphasize it. Really nice. Pretty good. It's like a telephone, not a problem. So you can see how you see Houston now, still don't understand how much more time pretty much comes to the ball. So anyway, Steve, maybe the trouble with the propaganda. But you know, you're perfect signal. And yeah, it's too bad. I don't even want to go around.
Yeah, K1LN FM0JCF. You know, I caught about 20% of that due to our friend just above. I did use the noise reduction on this IC-7300. I did shift the IF as well. I did shift the IF skirt left and right and all over the place. And I even made the filter very narrow, and he's still coming across. I think I may have to QSY down a few kilohertz for my next CQ, but it was great trying to hear you today, Gary, and I'm sure that next time it will be perfect. I mean, a couple of times you did hit an easily readable, 5 and 2, 5 and 3, but by far you was down to readability 3, as I say, more for the QR Mexico than your actual signal strength, because when he wasn't speaking you were nice and clear. But like me, I think he likes to talk more than he listens, and consequently I'm getting lots of QR Mexico. So I'm gonna move down 2 kilohertz or so, make sure that frequency is clear, probably give it a few more calls, and then I'll call it a day. But have a great day, Gary. Thanks again for calling in. It's really interesting what I did hear, but I'm going to be honest and say I didn't hear a lot, especially with the last over. So all the very best, 73. Good luck, take care, and bye bye for now. K1LNF M0JCF. Cheers, mate.
Delta, Delta Bravo.
Delta, Delta Bravo, stand by, please.
Put you in my logbook, and we will talk again. So goodbye for now, this side, and we'll talk to you another day. And good. Japan Charlie Box, bye-bye from 41 Lima November Foxtrot. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye, Gary. Take care, and thank you. Really do appreciate the effort. Always appreciated. The Delta Delta Bravo station, possibly Victor Echo 3. Would you like to come back to Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot in the southeast of England?
Yeah, certainly, certainly. Did you want a QSY a little lower?
Okay, yeah, I could QSY down to 371. I was going to QSY 371, and so long as the frequency isn't in use, we can carry on. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, we'll shift down.
Is this frequency in use? Is the frequency in use, please? Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot asking.
Nearby. Why don't we go down to 75, to 70, no, 70?
Yes, 70 QSY. Is this frequency in use, please? Okay, this frequency is in use. The Delta Delta Bravo station, would you like to QSY up the band? Have you the capability to go above 500?
I think so, yeah, we'll try it.
Okay, would you like to QSY to 28550? 28550?
What was the frequency, 7 what?
28.550.
Okay, I'll try.
Is this frequency in use? Is the frequency in use, please? Is the frequency in use? Is this frequency in use, please?
It will be now. I can read you okay here.
Yeah, I've got you 5 and 5. Can I have your full call sign, please? My name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, and I'm in the southeast of England, 20 kilometres or 15 miles southeast of the city of London. The Delta Delta Bravo station. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
I have a few questions for you, right?
Yeah, can I have your call sign, please?
Victor Echo 3, 123, Delta Delta Bravo. I'm just running 100 watts right now.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, Vic, I thought you were Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo, but your accent fooled me. Your accent fooled me. Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. You are currently 5 and 5 on my IC-7300, and I'm using 100 watts into a 5/8 wave vertical antenna. So go ahead with the questions. No problem, sir.
No problem. I'm Johnny's Electronics in Peterborough. I've been around the broadcasting repair for the last 60 years, so I have a shop just like yours, and I inherited a 530, and I'm having big problems getting the panels tuned. This won't resonate, and I'm digging around since you're restoring things. I'd be quite interested to find out what you've been. I'm looking at your picture on QRM, over.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Really, you know, it's your radio sounding good, and I know that you say you've been an engineer for many years. So sorry, what was the specific question you needed about my my QRZ page and my radios? Back to you.
The splitter too much, old man. Your name again? I didn't get your hand on.
Yeah, there are several stations here now, very strong stations. I need to QSY. I think possibly I'm very close to a used frequency, Johnny. Johnny, would you like to QSY to 28.620? 28, number 6, number 2, number 0. I believe this frequency may be in use. Is this frequency in use? Is the frequency in use, please?
seems to be clear, Gary.
Yeah, Johnny, Victor Echo 3, Delta Delta Bravo, Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot. I cannot believe that 10 metres is so crowded today. I can hear signals, but they are either very low or they're very close by on a nearby frequency. But I don't hear specific frequency use at this time. So hopefully we won't have to QSY again. But you know, if we do, we do. It's not a problem, Johnny. So I think for about the third or fourth time, you'd like to ask me that question again. Back to you.
Yeah, well, I've been restoring radios for the last 20 years. QDX does them around here. I'm retired, so I have a whole bunch of different things that I did for a friend, and I very cheaply bought it as the Kenwood CS with the bonds for 12 meters and 17 meters. So I'm having a bit of an issue to move the signal on transmitting frequencies. The whole output circuit is not resonate at any frequency proper.
Okay, now I've got QR November. It's a rustling noise, almost sounds like electrical noise. But I believe you were asking a question about a Tango Sierra 530. But I didn't hear what the question was, Johnny. Apologies for that. My ears are just not working perfectly today. Back to you.
Yeah, okay. I didn't get your name. What is your name?
Yeah, my name is Mark, Johnny. My name is Mark. That's Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo. I'm 20 kilometres southeast of the city of London itself, in the southeast of England. Back to you.
Okay, Mark. Well, listen, just bear with me. I'm just turning my radio on, and I'll have to do a little tuning at the John 811. And it probably needs a little tuning without pushing all the buttons, but I can give you a little more power, Mark.
Yeah, I'm not sure that its power is the issue today, Johnny. I think it's propagation, and QR Mexico, the 10 metres is very, very crowded today for some reason, and the propagation isn't fantastic. So I don't think it's a question of power. I think it's a question of that we've just got lots of QR Mexico, and the propagation isn't fantastic across the Atlantic from Ontario to London. So but go ahead, it's no problem. I am listening and I'm willing to help you if I can with your radio. Back to you.
I haven't seen it yet, Mark. Most of the heat gets in, most of the Kenwood line, the 830 and the 520 and all the way up. Just a minute, I turned my power down already. Just a minute to tune up the linear. So I'm back to 100 watts. You're fine here, Mike. Would you bear with me for 30 seconds? I want to tune up my linear. Would you hang in?
Yeah, I can hang in, no problem whatsoever. I'll leave you to tune your radio, and hopefully we can work something out. But yeah, listening for you, and I'll keep the frequency open for you. Please go ahead with your tuning. Victor Echo 3, Delta Delta Bravo. This is Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, listening on this frequency.
Afternoon, Mark. He's quite strong here.
Oh, he's not to me. G0 UK and M0 JCF. I take it you've been following me all across the band, have you?
No, literally, I was up on 29, and I was up on 29, and I just saw the edge of your signal on my band scope because it was sort of seeing that far down.
Okay, no, Johnny, we was down at 373 getting QR Mexico. We dropped a couple of kilohertz. Then we went up to 550, and somebody came on, very strong European came on and basically said, you know, our signal was interfering with him wherever he was. So we moved again, and yeah, he's not strong to me. He's about 5 and 3, 5 and 5 at the peak, but quite consistently drops lower. Propagation hasn't been too bad across the Atlantic, but the last two, the one before Johnny, he was in South Carolina. He was very, very weak using a three element Yagi, and now Johnny has come on to me. He's in Peterborough, Ontario, and he wants help with a radio, but I'm struggling to sort of hear what he's saying to actually give him the assistance that he needs. So, I mean, we're separated by a mile, and you can see what the difference is. G0 UKN, M0 JCF, in company with Victor Echo 3, Delta Delta Bravo.
Yeah, okay, well, I got a 500 watts on it now, Mark. Is it a little better now?
Yeah, 500 watts, Johnny, and you're 5 and 6, 5 and 7 to me. So a lot better with the 500 watts. Johnny, we have also got in company Golf 0 Uniform Kilo November Guy. He is he's just a mile or so away from me, but Guy is reporting that you are very, very strong to him also. So please say hello to Guy as well, Johnny. His call sign Golf 0 Uniform Kilo November, and his name Guy, Golf Uniform Yankee. Back to you, Johnny.
Yeah, okay, Guy, go ahead.
Yeah, Victor Echo 3. I didn't catch the call sign because Mark said it a little quickly. Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo, I think it might have been. A very good afternoon. You're 59 now. You put the linear on. You were 5 and 5, 5 and 7 without the linear. But I think Mark's got a little bit more noise than I have. I'm in my office at the moment, so I'm running a 756 Pro 3 with an IC-2KL amplifier, about 400 watts, into a 5/8-way vertical. I say you're 59 here. Please correct the call sign if I've got it wrong, which I think I have. Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo Golf 0 Uniform Kilo November.
Okay, Guy, I got you 5859. This is less than Mark is, but I'm surprised that the verticals are doing that well. Probably a TH3 beam, Guy. Anyway, nice for you to drop in. We're in Peterborough, Ontario, northeast of Toronto, between the Great Lakes here. And it's a rather, not a bad morning, 6 plus. And I'm just catching the last part of Mark's conversation that he's restoring ranges and also QRZ com site. And it looks like my shop, if you look around, it's just almost, maybe I'm a little roomy, but I've had a lot of radios going through my shop in the last while. Nobody does anything anymore. Nobody has any sense of design and troubleshooting circuits and all that. I'm just having an issue with the CS530 Mark. And I cannot get the final output of the same circuit in my network. I just won't be able, I'm just wondering whether some of the capacitors are known to go in that tuned circuit and or the shaft has moved on and I just got it a little while ago, but I haven't been able to change it yet over.
Yeah, Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot returning. Well, my experience of the TS520S and the TS830S as really the failure in the capacitors have been the power supply. So in both radios I've had that where the power supply, they're Generally, in all of those radios, they are 100 microfarads at 500 volts, and they're wired in series for a total of 50 microfarads at 1000 volts. So if one should if one should fail on you, then you'll find that the voltage, the transmit voltage, will drop very, very low by an order of about 6, maybe 700 volts. So it could be that is your problem. Other than that, I'm not aware of any problems I've had with the ceramic capacitors in the final tank circuit. I've had absolutely no problems with those high voltage ceramic capacitors. Guy is also a radio restorer, and also has probably worked on a lot more older radios than Mike Enwood's, and he may have an idea on that, Johnny. But for my part, I've had no failures of ceramic high voltage capacitors in the tank circuit. The Guy may know different, but for my part, my problems have always been in the power supply section. Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot, in company with G0 UKN. Back to you, Johnny.
Yeah, are you still reading me okay, Mark?
Yeah, still reading you. 5 and 3 now. 5 and 3.
Wow, it's almost okay. Well, listen, all the stuff you've been talking about, I've been through all of that, you know. I'm very, very familiar with electronics, all the math, all the tuning, the input circuit. One thing I haven't been able to find is a display for 18 meg. It's dead. Doesn't display anything. So the PLL is not putting out anything on that, but all other bands are putting out signals. I have the spectrum analyzer and all that on it. It's just one resonate with a dipper without any power on anything, with my tunnel dipper and my spectrum analyzer. I cannot work it. I will be able to do it at one band 20 meters, and any other one are way out of line, and all the capacitors are reading the same way. I have an 830 sitting next to it from a friend of mine, and I'm comparing those because it's my density output circuit. So it just dips nicely. Oh, this one won. And I've been damned to, I put it aside, Mark, because I got pissed off. I don't really need that radio, but it's just curiosity. As I said, I have all the equipment here, and I've talked to all the technical parts there. I looked after radio stations for 20 years, so it's not like I've experienced Mark over.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. Well, it sounds like, Johnny, that two things. One, you have a lot more experience of me in RF engineering at amateur radio level. And two, you sound like you've got a lot more sophisticated test equipment than me. So I'm sure that you're in a better position. I'm just sorry that I can't advise you anymore. I can only tell you the faults that I've had. And with me, it's just a case of, if I can get it working, I'm happy. I don't generally go beyond that. I'm not a sophisticated engineer when it comes to amateur radio. I just like to get the radios working, and then that's it. I never go really much beyond that. So I'm not sure that I can actually give you any pointers as to what's going on. I don't know if Guy actually heard what you were saying. Guy's got a radio that I think it's the 530S, where he can't use it on all bands. I don't know if you heard that and if you had any pointers, but it sounds like that Johnny is a lot more qualified than me. So I'm handing it round to you, Guy. Golf 0 UKN, M0 JCF in the group.
Yeah, M0 JCF, G0 UKN in the group, and my microphone lock. G0 UKN in the group returning. If you can't get a match on one particular band, and then as you say, you've tried to grid dip it as well with a dip meter, and you're getting no output, and you can't see a dip on one band. I mean, that says to me the band change switch on the inductor They potentially, if somebody has tried to match it in the past to some crazy load or completely mistuned it, you might end up with a situation where you get a big arc over in the band change switch, and then regardless of what you do, the band that's affected you will not get a match on. So and that's quite hard to spot looking at the DC conditions, because it's just shorting out different parts of the coil. So that's the only thing I can think of, is if it's only happening on a certain band or one or two bands, would be a fault in the band change switch. Victor Echo 3, and I've now closed my book, and I still didn't get an absolute confirmation of the call sign, and I can't work out where I've put it down. What was the call sign, Mark, just quickly?
Yeah, VE3 Delta Delta Bravo.
Oh, I did have it right, okay. So, yeah, back round to you, Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo, Golf 0, Uniform Kilo November, over.
Can you still read me?
Yeah, you're 55557.
Okay, guys. Well, you put your finger right on it. That's the first thing I looked at. Having worked on the 520s and 830s, somebody actually had this whole shaft out, and I had to synchronize one with the final output location, you know, so I got that going fine. I have drive on all bands. It's just that the final one too, and on any band at all, even though, and even with my tunnel dipper and my signal generator, drawing everything disconnected, just the final, cold as it is, running on it, I should be able to resonate the final tank circuit on all banders. I can't do that. I can get it on 20 meters, but all the tuning dials are way out of whack, and yet they're synchronized exactly the same as I have on the next to it, the 830, which is working. So I have a wonderful tool to work with. That is the other 830 that has an identical circuitry. I'm having probably the only problem I can see, that I'm picking up the wrong harmonic coming out of the PLL in the mixing process. You know, I should come out with an IF of 8.83. So anyway, I'm on the way, okay. I just thought maybe you guys are like I am, but I'm quite aware of all the circuits, you know what I'm saying. It's not that it's just the little hair I have is going to go if I keep on plugging away, but eventually I'll probably put it aside and use for a better day. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, VE3 DDBM0 JCF. Do you know what? As soon as Guy said about the band switch, one of my Tango Sierra 520 Sierra Echoes had a band switch problem, and the problem with that was the plastic. I think it had a plastic coupler, as I remember, and it was broken. It had a crack in it, and when you turned the switch would start to turn, but the full shaft never turned. And you know, every time you changed the switch, it slipped a bit more and a bit more and a bit, until in the end, you know, it wasn't working at all. And that guy reminded me, but that would have been, I suppose, the other thing that I could have thought of. But you know, Johnny, you seem to have a completely good handle on everything that you're doing, and I'm sorry that I can't actually be more of assistance, but it sounds like that whereas your knowledge of amateur radio circuits is far superior to mine. Mine is the knowledge. I know what they are, I know how they work, and I know how to repair the obvious stuff. But normally I would go to Guy or one or two other hands in my radio club, and I would actually ask them the same questions as you. And that's why as soon as Guy came on, I knew he'd probably have a better idea, and he did come up with a good idea. But you know, you've already said he hit the nail on the head, and you'd already tried it. So I'm sorry I can't help you any further. Back to you.
Oh, no, that's good. I been and done all that. I changed the broken coupler right away, so I took another old FT101. That's all done. All the mechanical is working great. It's just one resonate. And what I'm doing is an old test between the two units, the 830 and the 530, side by side, all hooked together. And I'm at the output, and without it being turned on, I'm getting a 1.5K reading. So that means somewhere in the switching on the output stage of A1 or something got burned by he hesitated to take all that apart. It's a lot of work. I don't really need that radio, so but I've done all my homework. I do all the measuring, all the frequencies are right. But that doubtful that the tuned output circuit is getting the right frequency, and I have to double check that again. Oh, maybe someday I feel strong enough to go into it. You know, you're right. I built a lot of stuff, a lot of linears, and so when I was thinking, my friend, I'm probably going to bypass the output stage. Just use the driver from the 12BY7, which tunes manually, and put a little solid state output, automatic tuned output transistor amplifier. They only worth about $100, so bypass that whole other work of using solid state output state. Mark, go ahead.
Quick one.
Yeah, I understood, fully understood, Johnny. Johnny, a guy has some more information, I think. He said a quick one. So back to you, Guy. G0UK and M0JCF in company with VE3 DDB.
Yeah, from Golf Zero Uniform Kilo November. I'm just looking at the circuit diagram here, Johnny. Just looking at the circuit diagram. Two possible things. If it's not tuning on any bands and it's tuning on 20, but it's way out of spec. Two possibilities. You've obviously got two wafers on the on that band change switch on the PA side. So you've got the one that's switching the inductors, and then the other wafer that's switching the padders across the inductance. So I'm wondering if that somehow got 180 degrees out or something like that. If it looks correct, yeah, okay, it's not that. There's C12, which is 100 puff, which goes from the out of the tank coil straight down to deck. So if C12 went open circuit, it's gonna mess up every band. And the other thing I have seen on a vintage transmitter where I had something similar is you've got a protective RF choke, which is called L5 on the on the TS530 diagram. And if you get a shorted turn or a few shorted turns on that, it does incredibly strange things to the tuning, and the thing will look like it won't tune at all. You'll get lots of anode current, and that can do some really, really odd stuff. The last thing that I can think of when I'm looking at the diagram is something a little bit weird on the sensor that goes off to do the metering and look at the relative output power. So if you had like a shorted, if that 1N60 in that circuit went short circuit, that would do some interesting stuff too. But just looking at it, I'd be looking at C12, which must be quite a highly rated 100 puff capacitor. Whether both of those wafers in that band change switch are in the right orientation, and L5. Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo Golf Zero Uniform Kilo November, over.
Yeah. Okay, guys. First of all, can you still read me?
Yeah, fine, no problem. Listen, guy, interesting that you have already done some homework check, and I did all that. I just connected a 2.5 millihenry protection choke. You don't even need it in there for anything. It doesn't affect anything other than if it's shorting. That's out if you're disconnected. I even disconnected the tank circuit just to be on one band only. One band only, the Pi network, okay? And I did that and put my cameras in there and I just scanned and finished. And what you might believe to, and it could be, is probably in the wake of this, something has drifted, one marked out, while all the others are okay, so somebody may have forced it, but you can't really see it until you take it apart, and that's the step I'm not going to do. So get my disc of it. I'm going to disconnect that output circuit, throw out the fuse, the 446s, and put a solid phasor, auto-tuned output stage in there, or build my own. I have no problem doing that. It's just a project that I scratch my head over because normally when I build radios, I have never had a problem to tune anything at a frequency with the tunnels and monitors and all of that. That's all easy stuff for me. It's just curious. And another fact is the PLL on the 18 meg 1 somebody did try to modify that unit to run the two other one bands, you know, and it won't even light up on the digital display. So the other thing that I'm looking at is just a challenge to me, a guy. My wife always said, "Oh, Dad, are you having trouble?" I said, no, never a problem. It's a challenge. That's what it's called, challenge. It becomes a problem when you can't fix this guy over. Yeah, completely. A very good friend of mine. I'm also into classic cars, Johnny, and a friend of mine, he has a phrase or saying which says, "We never have issues, we only have concerns. We don't have issues, we have concerns." So, so hopefully you'll get that sorted. It would break my heart to put a solid state PA in one of those, but yeah, if it's just a little project, it'll be an interesting experiment, and obviously 61446Bs will not always be available. So yeah, maybe it'll be future proofing it. So yeah, enjoy that one, and I hope you get to the bottom of it. But those were my guesses and where I'd have been searching. Right, I'll pass it round to Mark. M0JCF in company with VE3DDB G0UKN.
Yeah, G0UKN, M0JCF in company with VE3DDB. You know, I found this QSO one of the most interesting I've had in a long time, and you know, I was visualising the insides of a TS520 as well as the 830, and you know, it was all sort of so familiar, but at the same time a lot of interesting technical chat, and I like the fact, Guy, that you had the forethought to actually get the circuit diagram out. I didn't even get that far. I was just rabbiting on, really. But you know, I found it really interesting, and it looks like that Johnny was always one step ahead of what everyone else is thinking or had an idea. And I agree with you. Yeah, you know, putting a solid state amp in one of those, it's sort of intriguing, but at the same time you sort of, unless you really want to keep something alive and to prove that it can be done, you know, you've got that huge great high voltage power supply in one of those as well, and it sort of starts to make half of the radio become redundant. And you know, whilst you know it's a nice idea and a great thing to do, I think for me, I would be stripping out the power supply and everything, and probably creating more problems than what I'm solving, because I just couldn't bring myself to sort of downgrade such a radio just for a bit of solid state, just to see if I can do it. I think I'm probably quite lazy. That's the truth of the matter. Back round to you, Johnny. Vector Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Fox in company with G0 UKN.
No for you. It's not overnight here, but it's interesting, like you said. My engineering team has been building stuff, and not even amateur and stuff for the hospital, black boxes, and all that is no big deal. It's just a challenge, and I get there, right next to it, and I have a big monitor screen right on the other side of the bench, and I transfer the some other computer, right? So I can see the whole thing on it. 42-inch television, all the schematics on it. That's all good. It's just crazy. And I used to own a 520, and the 530, the 830, and the 520, they're all very, very, very similar. The 511, those things, they're very similar. They use the same concept. And the 530 guy has a wonderful receiver. Just a little, about 2 hertz per hour, but it settles down. That's the only thing. I wouldn't use it as my main rate, but it's got the possibility of my life. And I'm using 450 right now. And also my other rate, which I use normally, is the QS Delta, which has some PX problem intermittently in the mixing process, so but I haven't pinpointed it now. That's all there, but it's sitting on the side here, so I don't have enough to do, guy, over. Yeah, from Golf Zero, Uniform Kilo November. Well, I really should put some more pictures up on QRZ.com, because my collection tends to be British made. I've got a lot of British made equipment, Johnny, made by the KW organisation. So KW Electronics UK used to make transceivers about 5 miles from where Mark and I live. So I've got a shack full of equipment made by KW. I've also got quite a lot of Eddistone's equipment. So my main transceiver, I guess, I don't know which one I'd call my main transceiver, but I'm in my office at the moment, and my office I have a modern transceiver that I can just switch on and listen, well, which is what I'm on at the moment, which is a 756 Pro 3 with the IC-2KL amplifier, and that's nice and easy because I just switch it on and it just works. But I also do quite a bit of AM. I've got some early 1960s and late 1950s AM boat anchors as well. So you'll often find me just up above 29 megs on AM as well. So I do enjoy the older kit. I actually should still be working. Mark is lucky enough that he's retired. I'm not. So I've actually got to clear with you both now and go and do some work. I saw Mark on the frequency and thought I'd come in and give a shout. But it's very, very nice to talk to you, Johnny. And I hope you get to the bottom of that without resorting to a new PA. Hopefully it will. Something will just. What I find is I'll walk, as you said, I'll walk away from it for a while, and then come back later. You know, maybe a week or two later, and just go, oh yeah, I know what that's going to be. And I was just thinking about it further down, and the other possibility that you may not have thought of is, due to mechanical shock at some point, are you completely sure that the inductor, excuse me, the inductor has not got shorted against the metalwork of the chassis somewhere? Because that is something else that I've seen, where a tank coil has just moved slightly, and because the clearances are so tight inside some of those, it was touching it was touching the chassis of the rig, and obviously then that will not tune. And again, lots and lots of anode current and nothing tuning. Right, I'll pass it round to Mark, and I'm going to sit on the quiet side because I've had 2 or 3 emails since we've been chatting here, and I've got a call coming up about a customer project at 3 o'clock, so I really ought to make sure I'm prepared for that. So I'll pass it around to Mark, and I'll leave you both to continue. So this is Golf Zero Uniform Kilo November, clearing with Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo and Mike Zero Juliet Charlie Fox, and handing it round to you, Mark. I'll just be listening on the quiet side while I just attend to a couple of bits.
G0 UKN M0 JCF in company with VE3 DDB. Absolutely no problem, Guy. I actually found this QSO really fascinating. As I say, really interesting, and quite an eye-opener as well. And the amount of people that I tell I restore old radios, I realise how much I don't so much restore, but poke and hope, and everything comes alive. And so it's always quite interesting. My local daily QR Mexico has come up. Somebody nearby has switched on some LED lights or equivalent, and that comes on and off until later when it comes on permanently. And also above us is a very wideband digital signal, possibly over the horizon radar, and or something similar that comes up quite regularly on 10 meters and the other bands. So I'm actually going to go QRT, only because I think I'm going to start to struggle to hear Johnny. But Johnny, it was absolutely fantastic to speak to you. As I say, I'm sorry that I couldn't be more of assistance, but I'm glad that Guy came in and you confirmed that you tried what Guy said. Of course, the last thing you need to possibly answer is the short circuit issue with the inductor against the chassis, but I'm sure you've checked that. I'll be very surprised if that had happened. But as Guy said, you know, he's seen it happen, and it's worth having a look and maybe responding to that. So Guy's QRX at the moment because he's working. I'm going to go QRT very soon, Johnny, and go and do something different for the rest of the afternoon. In fact, I need to change a light switch in my bathroom. There you go. That's my restoration project today, a light switch in the bathroom. So can I hand it round to you, Johnny, and say thank you again for finding me lower down on the band, and thank you for chasing me all over the band. It was really interesting to speak to you today. Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo, this is Mike Zero Juliet Charlie Foxtrot in the southeast of England with G0 UKN. Over to you, Johnny.
Yeah, okay, can you still read me, Mark?
Yeah, reading you 5 and 5. As I say, my QR Mexico is about Santiago 2, but the digital signal just above us is just above us and not really interfering at the moment. Back to you.
Yeah, you're 5'9", yeah, no problem at all. All the best to you. Yeah, I'll be checking it. I'm going to do a strict form lead from output to right there all the way through a code with the 3830 up to 530. I'll find it. Not today. I got other things to do. I restored about 50 radios from the old FT, the old FT, and the 7200. I never had to touch any of them. They're excellent weight. And by the way, I'm 92, guys, so you have to live up to that one. 92 is my age, guys. See you later. Coffee time is eatable. VE3 Delta Delta Bravo. Goodbye.
Threes to both.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny, and thanks, Guy. And as I say, it was a great QSO. Guy, I've got it recorded as well. I'll send you a snippet, something like that. I won't send you the whole thing, or I'll send you a link to the YouTube channel where I'll upload it later on, so you can hear your dulcet tones telling the world how to fix stuff. And I'm being told by someone else that he's tried it, it didn't work. That's excellent, absolutely fantastic, it's priceless. But Johnny, yeah, great to speak to you, great signal, and until the next time, I hope you get things fixed. At 92, you're still young, you're not 100 yet, so the 100 is the new old age. There you go. You've got to reach 100 before you can be an old man. I'm 62 in a few months' time. So, but luckily, I retired early. I was only lucky. It was only circumstances allowed me to retire early, and it's been a very good retirement so far. I just like to get to 92 as well. Take care, Johnny, and until the next time, I wish you and everyone around you, your good lady wife, 73. And if you hear me on 10 or 12 meters, come and say hello and let me know how you've got on with that 530. It'll be great to know what the final outcome was. But go and do something else. I'm going to fix my light switch. Bye bye for now. Victor Echo 3 Delta Delta Bravo. This is M0 JCF going QRT. This frequency is clear for use. The frequency is clear for use. Cheers, Johnny. Cheers, Guy.
M0 JCF. Quick signal report for you guys.
Yeah, the station that called M0 JCF, yeah, you wanted to give me a quick signal report. I could hear you, but your signal wasn't strong. Go again, please.
Yeah, this is November Alpha India. You guys are doing pretty good over here. I'm sitting here running about a 20-watt 4-element Yagi engine track. I call it November Alpha 4 India. I'm in Central Georgia.
All right, I think I've got November for November Alpha India. Correct me if that was wrong. You're a 5 and 4 to me. I'm only using a 5/8 wave vertical antenna, 100 watts from the radio, and the radio is a ubiquitous IC-7300 by ICOM. Back to you, sir.
Okay, good. I appreciate the stop. That radio's up pretty good. Really top here, or about 4 top on it. And my call once again is November Alpha 4
NA4 Fox was that? Was that November Alpha 4 Foxtrot QSL?
India. North America,
North America for India. Now then, I mean, after several attempts, it's difficult for me to be giving you a 5 and 4, but you were genuinely, when you called in, and it was me not really paying attention, I suppose, but you was a genuine 5 and 4 with some QSB. So November Alpha 4 India. Have I got that correct?
You got it correct. My name is Alan. I'm from November. And I think your name's John from the QRM
Absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm glad to get you in the logbook. As I say, I won't hold it only because I have local QR Mexico, which makes the weaker signals on the QSB a bit tiresome, that I have to keep asking people to repeat themselves. It's not their transmission, it's my reception. And I have actually got to fit a light switch in the ceiling of our bathroom. We've got a sticking one at the moment. Sometimes the lights stay on, sometimes the lights won't come on, and if I don't get it fixed today, and I've meant to have fixed this the last few days, I will be in some serious trouble spending time on the radio when the screwdriver should be in that light switch. But Alan, great to speak to you today, and I hope to catch you again. You'll always find me CQing on 10 and 12 meters. Come and say hello, and we'll have a proper long rag chew. So November Alpha 4 India, Alan in I think you're Georgia. This is M0 JCF.
Okay, John. Yeah, you better get there and get that light switch focused to be in trouble. You got a south light line that's running around, of course, even for you. You got a south light line, I'd be in trouble in about 2 seconds. You take care. Enjoy the contact. Have a good day.
Yeah, NA4IM0JCF, an absolute pleasure, sir. And say you're more than welcome anytime to just come and say hello, whether it's just a few words or a full half hour. We always charge you exactly the same amount. You take care. Bye-bye for now, Alan. Mike 0, Juliet Charlie Foxtrot is now definitely QRT. This frequency is clear for use. This frequency is clear for use.
Yes, we want to take it. Jimbo, Cobra.